Hello and welcome to the Math District. In this video, we will talk about three ways of factoring a trinomial ax squared plus bx plus c with the leading coefficient not 1, and the example we will use will be 8x squared plus 10x plus 3. With the first method, we will use grouping, or sometimes called AC method. With this method, we will look for two numbers whose sum is 10, and 10 comes from the middle term, and the product is 24. And 24 comes by multiplying the first number 8 by the last number 3. 8 times 3 is 24. So the question is, what two numbers, when we add them, we will get 10, but when we multiply them, we get 24. Let's list all the numbers that we multiply and we get 24. 1 times 24 is 24. 2 times 12 is 24. 3 times 8 is 24. And 4 times 6 is 24. Out of all these numbers, only 4 and 6 will give us the sum of 10. So we will use these numbers 4 and 6 to split 10x into 4x and 6x. So now in the next row, we will bring down 8x squared. Then, in place of 10x, we will write 4x plus 6x, and then we will bring down 3. Now, as we see, we have a polynomial that has 4 terms. Therefore, we will continue factoring by using grouping. We will take the first two terms in one group, and then the last two terms in another group. In the first group, we will factor out the greatest common factor, which is 4x. 4x, then parenthesis, 4x times 2x will give us 8x squared, then 4x times 1 will give us 4x. Let's do the same in the second group. The greatest common factor in the second group is 3. Factor out 3, then in parenthesis, 3 times 2x is 6x, and 3 times 1 is 3. Now, as we see in both parentheses, we have exactly the same expression, 2x plus 1. Now we can factor out 2x plus 1. Then, in the second parenthesis, we will write 4x plus 3. So now the answer is 2x plus 1 times 4x plus 3. In the second method, we will use trial and error. With this method, we will start with 8x squared, and we will find the terms that multiplied will give us 8x squared. One way to write 8x squared would be 8x times another x. And another way would be 4x times 2x. The last term of the trinomial is 3. Now let's see how we can write 3 as a product. 3, the only way to write as a product is 1 times 3. Now we will list all the possible factorizations using these terms. The first factorization could be 8x plus 1 in the first parenthesis and x plus 3 in the second parenthesis. Or we could have 8x plus 3 in the first parenthesis and x plus 1 in the second parenthesis. Now, we could also have 4x plus 1 in the first parenthesis and 2x plus 3 in the second parenthesis. Or we could have 4x plus 3 in the first parenthesis and 2x plus 1 in the second parenthesis. To find what factorization is the right one, we will use FOIL to multiply the binomials. Let's start with the first one. 8x times x is 8x squared. 8x times 3 is 24x. 1 times x is x, and 1 times 3 is 3. Let's add the middle terms. 24x plus x, that will be 25x, so the final answer is 8x squared plus 25x plus 3. As we see, this trinomial is not the one we started with. Let's continue with the second product. 8x times x is 8x squared. 8x times 1 is 8x. 3 times x is 3x, and 3 times 1 is 3. If we add the like terms, the answer will be 8x squared plus 11x plus 3. As we see that this one is not the same as the one we started with. Let's continue with the third one. 4x times 2x is 8x squared. 4x times 3 is 12x. 1 times 2x is 2x. And 1 times 3 is 3. Let's add the like terms, and the answer will be 8x squared plus 24x plus 3. Now this one again is not the same as the one we started. Let's try the last one. 4x times 2x is 8x squared. 4x times 1 is 4x. 3 times 2x is 6x. And 3 times 1 is 3. Let's add the like terms 4x and 6x, and the answer will be 8x squared plus 10x plus 3. Now as we see, the trinomial we get, 8x squared plus 10x plus 3, is exactly the same as the trinomial we started with. That means the 4x plus 3 times 2x plus 1 will be the right answer to factoring 8x squared plus 10x plus 3. Method 3 is the Berry method, and with this method we will start two sets of parentheses, and in each set we will write 8x. And 8x comes from the very first term without taking the exponent. Now the numbers that have to go in each parenthesis next to 8x, we will find them by using the sum and the product. The sum of the numbers we are looking will be 10, and the product will be 24. And again, 24 comes from multiplying 8 and 3. 8 times 3 is 24. Two numbers whose sum is 10 and the product is 24 are 4 and 6, because 4 plus 6 is 10 and 4 times 6 is 24. So these are the numbers that we will write inside the parenthesis. In one parenthesis we will write plus 4, in another parenthesis plus 6. Now in each parenthesis we will factor out the greatest common factor. In the first parenthesis, the greatest common factor is 4. So factor out 4, Then in parentheses we will have 2x plus 1. In the second parenthesis, the greatest common factor is 2. Then in parentheses we will have 4x plus 3. Now the numbers that we factored out, they will be dropped from the answer. So drop 4 and drop 2. And just bring down the factors that we have inside the parenthesis. 2x plus 1 in one parenthesis and 4x plus 3 in the second parenthesis. So we factor the trinomial 8x squared plus 10x plus 3 using 3 different methods. That was grouping, then trial and error, then the Berry method, and each time we got the answer 2x plus 1 times 4x plus 3. You can check more of the math lessons and videos at themathdistrict.com. Thank you.